Good evening, and welcome back to the latest episode of the BlackManCan, a channel where masculinity is affirmed and supported, where we as men go to tackle the modern day challenges of society and with our women, and most of all, the place where we can go strive to become the best version of ourselves. Last but not least, ladies, this is a men's channel. You are welcome to come see me, but do not come for me. I will not go back and forth about a difference of opinion. Also, please like the channel, share the channel, and give me comments and feedbacks about each topic and what you want to talk about, brothers. We're here to help each other, build up each other, and do great things and attain our next level of progression. Last but not least, the YouTube channel is BlackManCan 2022. Pardon me, that's the Instagram channel. And the YouTube channel is the BlackManCan. A lot of people are starting to come over to the BlackManCan 2022 on Instagram. Please keep it up. Please tell friends. And let's keep this thing growing. I'm trying to grow this slowly. A lot of people are liking stuff on my personal channel, which I'm posting it on as well. But in the next few months, as we get growing, I'm not going to put any more of my videos on my personal channel. That's just for pictures of family and fun. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into today's topic, which is going to be called, has modern femininity become masculinity? And I know this is a touchy subject for some people, and brothers out there are going to agree with me, some won't. That's okay. And sisters that are chiming in, hey, here we go. First, it seems women have chosen degrees and personal achievement over becoming wives and mothers. Money seems to validate them a little bit more, and it makes them feel powerful, especially in the black community. And I'm all for sisters making that bag, getting their money. But when it comes to their career, a lot of our sisters have been given the idea that they're going to get to a certain position in life and then have a family. So what happens is they waste the prime years of their life chasing these personal goals, and these corporations will burn them out. And what happens is, next thing you know, they're 35 plus years old, have no baby, no man, and they're searching for these things. And they have all these degrees and money, but they don't have any real tangible family to back it. Moreover, these corporations don't care about women. They really care about keeping the price of work down. So if you have 50 more people that want a job instead of 100 women and men instead of just 50 men, of course, you can pay everybody less. Moreover, if they cared about women, these corporations would have daycares at the job. They would allow women to telecommute. They would do more things that are accommodating to women who are becoming mothers. But they don't care. So that's number one. Women are sold a certain bill of goods, and they start to believe that chasing degrees and personal achievement is more important than having a family. Number two, women are supposedly living their best lives in their 20s and having a lot of experiences with different sexual partners, which makes it harder for them to pair bond. They spend their young years being promiscuous, and it ages them. And then they turn 30 plus and they want to rush a man when they meet him, the man they think that is the new guy and the safe guy. They want to rush him into marriage or into having children when they spent their best years running around town having sex with different men. And this definitely gives women trauma, and it plays a role in them not being able to connect the same with one man. Okay? Number three, women feel they are actually in competition with their men. And I can speak to this, especially with black women. From childhood, we seem to do a lot of things to lift the sisters up, and I'm all for that. STEM programs, look at her, black woman can, girl power, I'm for all of that. But at the same time, we kind of stunt the men and tell them to acquiesce to everything. And it's not good for society as a whole. Men and women, we should be working together rather than us being at odds with one another. That's not how you create families and build nations. Another thing is you hear terms like boss chick, alpha female, partners. These are catchwords that women show that they want to kind of be more masculine, not recognizing and respecting the role that men play in making the world that they have possible. Whether it's the cars they drive in, the roads they drive on, the buildings they go into, the institutions they get their degrees at, all these things have been built by men. electricity that comes through their wall, their phone, all of these things are built predominantly by men. The electrical grid, you name it. So it gets to the point where men have become devalued for the so many things that we do. And women feel like they're in competition, and there shouldn't be any competition. We should be balancing each other, not trying to one-up each other. And that's a problem. Number 4, women seem to confuse sexual interests with long-term interests. With this new world of social media, women, an average-looking woman can get 500, 600 likes with a picture of the bikini. So she gets all these likes and hearts and all these simp beta males in her DMs talking about, oh, what I wouldn't do for you. And they confuse this with unlimited options for what men, for what men they can have. And what it is there's a difference between men that want to have sex with you and men that want to be in a relationship and build with you. And what happens is this social media world and all these attention that comes out of it, it makes them think they have limitless time and limitless selections of good men. And at the end, they find out all these good men that they could have had along the way are gone, and they end up alone. And there's an old saying, I forget, I think the guy's name is Rollo Tomasi, but he said, men value love, women love value. So a lot of times a real pretty woman just goes and just looks at it like there's always going to be another guy. Sis, no, there's not. There's not always going to be another guy. So brothers are aware of this, and I think they have an issue with that, with the whole masculine personality. I don't need a man. I'm good with the likes and hearts. I can just show out and pick whenever I get ready. Unfortunately, Mother Nature don't work that way. Number 6, single mothers are now being applauded more than wives. Now, I ain't got nothing against single mothers. 70% of the households where these young boys are coming out of are single mothers. But you think about that. I remember sister said to me, yo, these men out here ain't shit. I'm like, well, sis, y'all raising them. So most of the women are fine leaving their children with the daycare rather than keeping the kid full time when they're young. And this goes back to what kind of man you're choosing, what kind of planning you're doing beforehand. Brothers, if you out here trying to make a family, like I told you in a previous video, women don't want no 50-50. In the affirmative, a woman wants a man that can hold it down for a couple years so she can be a mother. And it's going to be more beneficial to you and your children than sending them off to daycare. Number 7, so-called strong women with jobs and money tend to like and attract weak men, jobless men. Because these are the only guys that really are looking at a woman for her money. There's a dude that wants to, get something from her, live off her. But a lot of these women like these weak men. These what I call Madden kings. Brothers that stay at home, got no options, no plans, no goals. And you see these videos all the time where women exerting masculinity. You can get the F out of my house and da-da-da-da. And the man is weak. The man is hopeless. So a lot of these women in their effort to be masculine attract weaker men. And they like that. They like to have that kind of control. And a man without his own, a man that does have his own will not tolerate that kind of stuff. He will not be spoken to like a peasant, especially when he knows he's a king. And last but not least, number 8, usually the hotter they are, the more damage and trauma and lack of femininity they have in many situations. There's a lot of gorgeous women with degrees, cars, and houses and material possessions in their 40s, and they've never had a child or been married. And there's nothing against that, but more women than you think want nothing more than to have a true connection with a king. They don't want to be out here with a bunch of money, cars, and no man. So I want to ask you, brothers, am I wrong, or has the new femininity become masculinity? Have sisters become very argumentative, combative, manipulative, and using sexuality, control lustful men, and using degrees and money as their own validation rather than making families? Now, I'm not saying this is all, but this is something that is rampant, and brothers, we need to prepare and make a way for us to fix this. But it's going to take time. So to recap, reasons why it seems in my mind that the new modern femininity has become masculinity. 1, most women have chosen degrees and personal achievement over becoming mothers and wives. They delay that, and they spend their big years going in, trying to get all these career accomplished first, and then they want to have the family late. It's like a man once said to me, white women go to college to find a husband, black women go to college to show they don't need one. Now, that wasn't my saying, but that's his. Number two, women are supposedly living their best lives and having too many sexual partners in their 20s, which makes it harder for them to bond with men and have one partner. It's a problem, and you need to look out for that as a man, because a lot of these women ain't gonna tell you how many partners they had. They only count their boyfriends. They're not thinking about the dude in Cancun, the trip with the girls, the time back at homecoming, the one night stand. The numbers are a lot higher than you think, brother, the older they get. Number three, women feel they are actually in competition with men. A real man don't want to compete with his woman, don't want to argue with her, be combative, have fights, one-up her or have her try to one-up him. We want to work together and be in concert with sisters. And sisters don't seem to recognize, in many cases, what men bring to society, which is everything. Number four, women confuse sexual interest with social media with the same level of availability as people who want long-term relationships. Just because brothers is hitting like and heart does not mean that they want to be with you. Just means they want to get in your pants. Number five, single mothers are now being applauded more than wives, which is a problem. Nothing wrong with being a single mother, but back in the day, it was almost looked at as taboo for a sister to be having a baby without a man. Now, that's the predominant situation. Something we got to work on as men. Men, I'm going to do a video, and I talked about it earlier. Stop being lustful. Be careful where you plant your seed, okay? Number seven, so-called strong women with jobs tend to attract and like weak men so they can control and manipulate them, all right? And last but not least, the hotter they are, especially like cougars, they usually have a lot of damage, a lot of trauma from multiple partners, and they have a lot of issues with bonding with men and have a lack of femininity. They want to argue, they want to fight, they want to show you how smart they are. And most men who have their own life together and are strong don't got time for that. With that being said, we're going to wrap it up. BlackManCan, if you didn't know, you better ask somebody. Have a great weekend.